Great. Good evening, everyone from New Zealand, and I believe it's good morning, good afternoon from various parts of the world. Welcome again for the RBS Intellect webinar, which we host on a fortnightly basis. Um, what Today we have University of Auckland with us, which is you can see that it's the #1 university in New Zealand. Now the idea is to get you information options around what is there in options in New Zealand with University of Auckland and what are the courses offered. Primarily, we'll do the overview. But again, what I'll recommend to everyone, please ask your questions in the Q&A box while we do our presentation, and then at the end, we'll be answering all the questions. So as we know, we have our panelists here today. So I'll ask every panelist to talk about for 30 seconds and introduce themselves, who they are and what they do. Over to you, Amita.
Kia ora, good evening. My name is Amita and really happy to be here with you this evening. And we've had really rainy weather here in New Zealand, so I hope you're having some better weather wherever you are. I look after the South Asia market for the University of Auckland, and I also work with a couple of our faculties very specifically. So it's kind of a dual role, and I really look forward to engaging with you, hearing your questions, and of course to share with you about the University of Auckland and what those opportunities look like for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Amita. I think I'll go to Anosh. Anosh is one of the licensed immigration advisor with us, but then again, he's everywhere around the world. So over to you, Anosh.
Kia ora, myself Anosh Joseph. I'm a licensed immigration advisor based in New Zealand. In this particular webinar session, I'll be going through your queries with regards to migrating to New Zealand, also specifically answering questions on visas, on pathway to residence, and what are the options for you once you secure a student visa. So make sure you plan your questions throughout the webinar and type it in. I'll be able to also respond to your questions. And I do process all kinds of visas. So once you arrive in New Zealand on a student visa, if you have any questions or concerns regarding any further visas, give me a call. Happy to help. Thank you.
Great. And I can tell you that there are good team members, number of team members. Anosh. So again, about me, I'm one of the directors for RBS Intellect. I'm in this international education industry for last nearly 2 decades now. Again, supported and helped a lot of students to move to New Zealand and to other countries. And to add, we have our, I think our students or our people joining from, I think around today it's 8 to 9 countries. So good to see everyone and good to see the number of people joining in the webinar. So I think I'll always do a bit of brief that people who are talking about New Zealand first time, or they're joining first time out hearing about New Zealand. So why New Zealand? What's the reason? So New Zealand, again, it's excellent education system. It is something we say that one of the best what you get into the East, not one of the best what you get in the West. The idea is that you are dealing with 8 universities, which are all in top 500. Today we have University of Auckland, which is in top 100 and top 50 for major courses what they offer, and they are also a triple crown business school. At the same time, there are 16 polytechnics which are named under one identity called Te Pukenga, and then we have around 50 active tertiary providers, private tertiary providers. Now, altogether, there are 5,500 qualifications are offered around in New Zealand for international students. So there's a lot to choose from, and alone the University of Auckland is offering 1,400 plus qualifications, if I'm thinking rough an idea figure putting it around. And again, Amita will talk about the number of the student, which is a great mark for numbers. So again, you have diversity of study. It is from food science, again, to the space programs. There is a lot to be offered in New Zealand. Though we are a small country in East with 5.5 million people, but then now this 5.5 million have more startups in Southern Hemisphere than other part of the world. Now we are a safe and peaceful destination. It's the one of the peaceful country and always in top 10 around the world and one of the safe destination to go in. And we always recommend for a family sending the undergraduate student. One thing, it's a great way to start the career or education career. But there are a lot of benefits for the postgraduate students also with the new visa policies and immigration, which I know should be talking about. Now, as for immigration policy, every student is allowed to work part-time and full-time in their holidays, and there are post-study work options depending on the course you're choosing in. But again, we will talk about that into the later part of the presentation. On terms of quality of life, New Zealand cities are always ranked again in top 10 or top 20 to a place to stay in. So again, if you watch out, we are a small destination, but we are making a very strong impact. Now, I'll very nicely hand over to Amita. This is your area, and I'll give it to you your presentation. You can share the screen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bharat.
In the meantime, while Amita shares, of course, everyone who is joining, please ask your questions in the Q&A box. We'll be answering all the questions at the end of the presentation. So it'll be on terms of first come, first serve basis. So we will start from the top. And in the meantime, Anush will start answering. Over to you.
Okay, Tena koto katua, and hello everybody once again. Bharat's taken some of the wind of what I was going to say, but in any case, I just wanted to say for those who've just joined, just really wonderful. Once again, I'll introduce myself. I'm Amita Gedri. I'm the International Manager for South Asia at the University of Auckland. It'd be wonderful with a show of hands or a little note to tell us which city you've logged in from, so we get a really nice sense of where you guys are all coming from. So if you have a minute to do that, please do that, and we'll of course catch up with you on the questions. I'd like to really thank Bharat today. RBS is our partner, and thank you for this opportunity. It's really a pleasure to connect to all our potential students through our partners, because our partners are really our ambassadors. They advocate on our behalf. They understand that education space. So you're in really good hands. So good on you for joining this session. And if you have questions even after, I'm sure Bharat and his team will be more than happy to really help you. And just give me a thumbs up if you've heard about New Zealand. As Bharat has said, it's a beautiful, beautiful country. We are renowned for our stunning views and landscapes, great outdoor lifestyle. We've got a progressive social and environmental policies here, and it's a really enviable lifestyle. So as Bharat mentioned, we're a really, really small country, but we punch well above our weight when it comes to some of these areas. So what really makes New Zealand stand out? We are the most multicultural nation. We're set up in a bicultural framework. So what that means is that the Maori, or the New Zealand's indigenous people, have a very rich cultural history, and that is interwoven in the country's identity. So it's the traditions, the language, the arts, it's all well celebrated and well respected. And we follow what is called the Maori worldview, which is very central to the country's identity, and it's integral to New Zealand. So this is really what makes us unique. So Kaitianga, which is guardianship, Whanaungatanga, sense of connection, and it's a relationship through shared experiences, and Manakitanga, which is a practice of showing kindness, of showing respect, something that we all in our cultures also value. So this Te Ao Maori, or the Maori worldview, really underpins everything that we do, and it's actually a kind of testament to how this is ingrained, and it's a testament to the reputation of New Zealand, which I'm sure all of you will know through either knowledge of sports or through other things that you heard about. You might have heard about how New Zealand managed the COVID situation. So we really have kind of kept this good reputation going because of these values. So let's talk a little bit about Auckland. Tamaki Makaurau is the Maori name for Auckland. We are a proud global university located in Tamaki Makaurau, looking out to the world. So Auckland is a great city. Of course, I'm slightly biased. I live here and absolutely love this city because, as Bharat was also mentioning to you, it is one of the most livable cities in the world. It's the commercial capital of the country, and it's a true melting pot of various cultures. So you might be surprised to know that 1 out of 4 Aucklanders are actually born overseas. So that's how diverse our population in Auckland is. And for students, or for those who come to Auckland and want to settle in Auckland, this really means that there are plenty of opportunities. So not only is it better job opportunities, but also your cultural opportunities, food choices, language diversity. So it's not unusual for you to hear the buzz of your mother tongue when you're walking up and down the streets on a normal day in Auckland. You really see that on a day-to-day basis. And that really adds to New Zealand, to Auckland and New Zealand's attractiveness as a destination of choice. So we really want all of you to look at New Zealand and University of Auckland and Auckland as your first choice and your first preference when you're considering international education. So just a quick overview. These are the faculties. We've got 8 faculties, several research institutes, and we are a comprehensive university. Waipapa Taumata Rao is our Maori name. Yeah. So just a little bit about rankings, because if you talk to anybody from University of Auckland, we can't stop talking about the rankings because it's really something that we value and something that makes us really proud. As I said, we punch well above our weight. So we're 65th globally. So we're in the top 100 definitely in the world. We are ranked 5th in the sustainability rankings. And interestingly, there was a study that was done quite recently, which said that currently students are actually 1 out of 4 students are considering the sustainability rankings of the university that they select, because you do know where the world is going today and the problems that the world faces. And University of Auckland is actually one of the universities that is a high impact university when it's coming to kind of solving the world's problems as such. So we've got some really good rankings in that space and the impact that we have globally on various issues that are plaguing our planet and our world at this moment. So we've got quite a few subjects that are in the top 50, many in the top 100, in the top 100, in the top 200. So we are really making a mark on that space, like marketing, for example, civil and structural engineering, education, to name a few, sports related subjects. So these are all subjects that we are ranked globally, which means that the research is at the highest level of the research. You will be taught by people who are at the cutting edge of this knowledge. And that's something that you'll get across our faculties, across our programs. So really an absolutely quality education is something that we can always promise you. And as I was mentioning to you, that we are also a university that's looking outward. So everything that we do has international recognition. We are looking at industry settings. So you will use the most high-end labs. You've got a lot of support from our faculties as well. And the other thing I wanted to just share with you is the employment outcome for University of Auckland. We're number 1 in New Zealand and 68 globally. But if you look at the employment outcomes across all the countries, and this was a study done by the QS, and they have a point system or a score system for the average scores by country, and New Zealand is ranking really, really high compared to the other countries as well. So this is a testament to really the kind of work that is happening at universities. And as I mentioned to you, at the University of Auckland, we are an institution of higher learning. We impact pioneering research and innovation work that our students and academics do. It transcends borders. So this is the impact, whether it's climate change, sustainability, technological advancement, scientific research, social equity. All this work really resonates on a global scale. So this is what you will actually come to and belong to an institution that is doing this kind of work, and you'll be part of that exciting journey. And just some more exciting facts about us is like 33% of the research that happens in New Zealand actually happens in the University of Auckland. So we're also a very innovative university. We've got heaps of different subject disciplines that we sort of teach in our university. Over 200 clubs for all our students. So anything that you want to do, you can come as an international student, start a club if there isn't one existing. And we have over 200,000 alumni right now globally. So really, we are a strong university with a very strong global presence. I'm going to take you very, very quickly through our faculties. And so not going into details about any of the programs, but just giving you an overview of the kind of programs that we have that cover just not only bachelor degrees, but our master's degrees as well. So we've got programs that are 120 points. We've got programs that are 180 points and 240 points in masters, which means translates to 1 year, 1.5 years, and 2 years, depending on what you've studied or what the entry requirement is. Engineering is one of our leading faculties. We are a premier a premier engineering school because we have the Washington Accord. We're under the Washington Accord. Everything that you do here at the University of Auckland's engineering school will actually have a global recognition for that education that you will have. Our business school, again, is a ranked school. We are Triple Crown accredited. So that is, I think, 1% of business schools in the world are accredited in that sense. So we've got the AACSB, the EQUIS, and the AMBA accreditation. Also, some of our applied professional accounting, applied finance has the blessings of the Chartered Institute of Management and the other institutes across that space. So really quality education. Again, we've got some very interesting things that happen in the business school. We've got we've got an association with a bank where we actually are doing trading about a minute later from the real trading platforms. So some really good opportunities for our students to learn and in that space. Faculty of Science, again, ranked first in New Zealand. We are covering many areas, subject areas from biological health and life sciences, chemical and physical sciences, geography and earth and environmental sciences, human social behavioral, mathematical computation. So whatever subject under science that you can think of is pretty much covered. What you need to understand is not all of our programs might be having a subject title to that. So it may not be a Masters of XYZ, but our Masters of Science has already got 28 subjects, if you see that 28 subjects. So those 28 subjects cover a lot of different subjects. So if they're not a named qualification, then it'll be under one of those subjects. So there's a lot that we have to offer our students. Faculty of Medical and Health Sciences as well. We have a bachelor's and we've got master's programs, many different programs to select from in this as well. All of these entry requirements are there on our website. So it's difficult to go through every single program, but you will find that information on our website. Faculty of Education and Social Work, again, education is in the top hundreds, top is 37th, I think, in the world. So really at a high level. For some of our markets, our graduate diploma in teaching, EC and secondary is very popular. Master of Social Work Professional is very popular. And I think Anush can talk to some of these which are in the green list and actually are a good segue into that kind of settlement or getting a job immediately space if you're looking at that. And this is growing and projected to grow year on year. So really some of those spaces, the skills shortage is peaking in the next couple of years. We've got 6 schools in our Faculty of Creative Arts and Industries offering a variety of programs within this space, including architecture to heritage conservation to fine arts and music. So lots of different programs to choose from. And finally, the law school is 55th in the world. Again, a very premier brand, a premier school. We've got quite a few programs in law, and some of these are also for non-law graduates. So you could be coming from any other background but wanting to study, let's say, intellectual property program, which is recognized in the Australasia sort of space. So you can take that qualification over to Australia eventually as well. So all of these programs our law school is a very highly regarded faculty. Lots and lots of opportunities for learning from visiting professors from across the world as well. And so there's some really great options within this school too. And sorry, I think I skipped a slide. And I think scholarships is something that our students really like to know about. We've got quite a few different scholarships that are available. We've got the India High Achiever Scholarship, which is a 20,000 scholarship, International Student Excellence Scholarship, which is a $10,000 scholarship. I think you might have students who have logged in or potential students logged in from Southeast Asia. We have an ASEAN scholarship as well, which I've not mentioned here, but it's for that particular region. So we have some scholarships that are for all international students, some are regional, but also there are some faculty specific scholarships. So you might be getting into one of the business programs, which in itself has some scholarship available as that. So you need to look, and they can change every year. So every time you apply for a program, you need to just check if that particular program does have another scholarship as well. And there are lots of doctoral scholarships available as well for those students who are looking at doctoral studies. So I just wanted to say quite kind of very broadly that our programs are all kind of designed that you are made ready for going into that next step in your career, because even the program itself has either got an internship, working integrated learning, capstone project, practicum, clinical experience, or a research project, which is an industry-based research project. So everything is preparing you for that. Additionally, we have a very strong careers and employability services, which holds networking events, career fairs, interviews. So you get both like a one-on-one interaction, but as well as you can go.
Hi, Amita. We lost you, looks like. Anush, can you hear? No.
Of alumni. So when I say 96% are employed, I think the range is they are 96% of our students get a job within 3 months of graduation, or they've had it before they. So a lot of our students get that through the practicums and internships that they do. For anyone who wants to know a little bit more, on our website, ambassadors, student life.
Hi, Amita, can you hear me? Hi, Amita, can you hear?
Yeah, I think I lost you, but
Yeah. I think because we lost the presentation. Did you finish the presentation? Look like.
no, I didn't, and I'm going to share that.
Yeah, because
So
we
this
lost
was,
you.
yeah, so sorry if I lost you, but this was really the last one, because they say that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So I'm encouraging all of you who are here attending this session that do take that step, experience your lifelong friendships, bring your learning into practice, make a difference, imbibe values of sustainability, and and care for the environment, which is what we really promote, and give creative flights to your ideas and be the best you can be, because this is what we will offer you, and this is the kind of experience you will have at the University of Auckland. So I'm really excited. Tena kodo katua. I hope that I can see some of you on campus, and I'm going to stop sharing my presentation and open the floor to questions. Or I don't know if Anush is first going to do his piece, and then we will open.
So. Yeah. So Anush, if you stop just stop sharing. So what I'll do is that. So guys, I think before we go to the final Q&A, there are a few things to cover in terms of post-study work visa and updates. So again, Anush, you want to cover? You can start, or I can cover the basics. Over to you.
Well, you can go through the basics and then we'll
Sure.
go through the residence.
Great. So for everyone, guys, just to give you a heads up, New Zealand have a post-study work visa option, as I mentioned to everyone before the start of presentation. There are multiple ways and multiple options. So we'll go on for students who are doing a PhD course at Uni Auckland or any other institution. The immigration policy is that if you do any PhD qualification, you get a 3-year post-study work option. If you do a master's degree at level 9 coursework or research work, it is 1 year minimum or 30 weeks. You can go up to 1.5 or 2 years. You'll get a 3-year post-study work options. With a postgraduate diploma, if you're doing 1 year post-study PG diploma with a 30 weeks minimum. Remember, that should not be below 30 weeks. You get a 1 year post-study work visa option. Now with bachelor's, it's dependent upon the duration of the bachelor you're doing. You're doing a 1 year bachelor or a 2 year or a 3 year. You are able to get up to 3 year post-study work options. Now, there are certain qualifications at the undergraduate level, which is the diploma level, which is level 7, which is the pre-master, or there are diplomas at level 5 and 6, which are technical diplomas. These diplomas, some of the diplomas are approved to get a post-study work option for 1 to 2 years. Now the team at RBS can help you with all those details. Again, which course, which scenario you're going in. Now we'll talk about residence pathways, which Anush will cover, what options we have from a residence perspective, because we can see certain questions are there which can be covered at the point later also. So over to you, Anush.
Thank you, Bharat and Amita. So I'll be going through a couple of areas on explaining you how to gain a residence visa in New Zealand. Usually this is the interesting part most of the people are waiting for, because most of the students has an aim to gain residence. Not all of them, but most of them. So you can gain a New Zealand residence visa if you follow a different process compared to any other country which you choose. In New Zealand, there is a clear pathway for residence for students if you plan your career and course in that way. Let's focus on what are the 3 options which you can choose. First one is a skilled migrant pathway, residence visa. Second is a green list pathway, which has 2 categories, which is Taiwan straight to residence and also work to residence, which I'll be covering in a couple of minutes. Then we have the care workforce sector agreement pathway to residence, which I won't really recommend, because that's not a pathway which I will recommend to students. Next one, please. All right, so this is the skilled migrant residence pathway, which I'll be explaining. So this system is a newly designed system, which is 6-point skilled residence pathway system. So the total points which you require for this residence visa is 6 points. So you can claim points on 3 different categories. One is by the wage which you secure in New Zealand. Second is by work experience, and third is by qualification. Right. So the first one, let's have a look at the points which you can claim on qualification. So the maximum points which you can get on a qualification is 6 points, which you can receive after completion of PhD. So if you have a 6 points plus from a PhD and a job offer, you can apply for residence. And second one is a master's. You can claim 5 points for a master's, and the other 1 point can be claimed by 1 year experience. Then we have 4 points for postgraduate diploma programs, and you can claim the rest of the 2 points by claiming 2 years of work experience. Then you have 3 points for a bachelor's degree and postgraduate certificate programs, and the rest of the 3 points can be claimed from 3 years of work experience. So the main idea is to gain that 6 points, and if you take a master's program, usually I recommend to most of the students, because you can claim 5 points. You can bring your family on a work permit. If you have a child, they can go to the school for free. And you get 3 year post-study work visa. In that particular 3 years, you only require 1 year skilled experience. So what does a lot of students do ask me, what do you mean by skilled experience? So skilled experience is basically if you are paid at median wage. Right now, the median wage is $31.61. So if you're paid at median wage at a skilled employment from UNESCO standards 1 to 3, you can claim 1 point for 1 year experience. And let's say if you're going to claim skilled experience on a UNESCO 4 to 5 job, then you need 1.5 times of median wage to claim that 1 point for that particular experience. Then let's go on to the green list pathway to residence category. This is the fastest one which we have in New Zealand. It only takes 2 to 3 months to process a skilled straight to residence visa under the green list pathway. The fastest one which I have processed was in 72 hours, which is 3 days for a registered nurse. Right. So in this pathway, if you are falling under the Taiwan occupation, let's say there are certain occupation which falls under Taiwan occupation. For example, secondary school teachers, nursing, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, IT, computer science. So all these categories, if you get a job offer, you can apply for straight to residence. Certain IT occupations do have a wage requirement also on the skilled straight to residence category. So make sure you consult with an advisor before applying for that kind of applications. Then the second one is a work to residence category, which is a tied to occupation, where you need to work for 2 years. For example, let's say early childhood education, once you complete, because there are a lot of questions on the Q&A box for early childhood education. So if you are going to be an early childhood education teacher, you need to work under that particular area for 2 years, then apply for residence under the work to residence category. Then the last one is the care, workforce, and transport sector agreement pathway. So this one is as an old design. The transport sector has been taken off, so that it's de-established. So right now we only have care, workforce, sector agreement, pathway to residence, which is it is pretty simple. If you're working as a healthcare assistant or a caregiver at a level 4 rate, which is currently $28.25 an hour, if you complete 24 months of employment, you can apply for residence. A lot of students do take this pathway if they are coming here to study community health or health science or any course related to health. And if you are getting a job offer to work as a caregiver, no problem. You can gain residence in 24 months if you are paid at level 4. So if you have any questions related to any of these areas, please type it in. I'll be able to respond to those questions.
Okay, so guys, just to give you a heads up, we are at the page where we are into Q&A. Now, just to give you a heads up, we will recommend everyone to please ask your questions in the Q&A box because it'll be easier for us to answer. Now, just to give you a heads up, RBS into various locations worldwide. You're welcome to put emails to us or connect our local partner offices or offices. We will recommend you where to go and how to go. And if you're raising your hand, you will be not able to talk. Please put your questions in the Q&A box. So I'll start with a question now, and that is always a bit of the part we want to go in. So now, so since one is from anonymous attendee, if I want to do master's program in food science, what is the course fee and scholarship and discount? So Amita, the idea is that I know fees are around, but you're welcome to go ahead.
Yeah, so just a matter of so the scholarships that we have available. So food science is of course very popular. So you will need to look at I don't remember all of the program requirements, but generally most of our masters have a 6.5 English requirement and the GPE requirement, which is a grade point equivalent. Please remember, it's not the same as you have. So we have a calculator. You need to put in your current marks and it gives you an indication. It will spit out a number to see if you meet our GPE. However, the final decision will always be left with the admissions team because you might have some backlogs and that might change your GPE outcome. So you need to use the calculator for your academic and for your English requirements to see if you meet those requirements. If you do meet those requirements, then you can apply for the program. Most of our programs in the postgraduate range from about 40,000 to 55,000. So it depends on whether you're doing a 120 point program or a 180. I think food science is 180. So there are some programs that have both the options that you can do a 1 year program or you can do 1.5 years. It depends on what you've done previously, whether you've done some postgraduate work before or not. The scholarships are definitely available depending on what category you fall into. They are all very competitive and they are based on your performance against the others who have applied. The scholarship window generally is open for about 6 weeks every time for every intake. For this, I think we're going to start this one in the early September, and it will be open for 6 weeks. You have to apply for that scholarship. You can apply if you have a conditional or a firm offer. So you must have a conditional or a firm offer and then apply for the scholarship. At the end of 6 weeks, the scholarship window will close. The applications are then go through a committee. There is a committee that looks after our scholarships, a high-level committee, and they will review everything and then come out with their decision. So it depends on your scores, and it also depends on your statement of purpose. Why are you a deserving candidate for this particular scholarship? So it is definitely a competitive scholarship. It's not an award that, oh, I think I've got good marks, so I 100% get a scholarship. It doesn't work like that. But I definitely encourage students to apply for the scholarship, because it depends on the number of people who've applied and what their level is. So if we have got 20 scholarships to give, the top 20 students will get the scholarships. If the top 20, one of them does not actually accept the scholarship, then the 21st in the row will be given that offer. So that is how that scholarship sort of offer works.
Great. I think, can I say that, Amita, here that scholarship numbers are in couple of hundred for all faculties. It's not only 1 or 10. Is that correct? Because I know that the number of 15 million was very positive, and the number of numbers are very high. And
That's
again,
correct.
there are country-specific scholarships, and there are multiple other area of faculty-specific scholarship. Now, guys, the scholarship question will be covered, again, has been covered in detail, so I'll be skipping some questions. But at the same time, if you have any doubts, what I always recommend, please share your CV at hello@rbsintellect.com. We'll come back with you with your complete potential outcome, which courses, which area you can go in. But again, you have to send a CV at least so that we can review the option. Now, there's a question from Chandima, early childhood options. So Chandima, there are multiple options at University of Auckland, which is from graduate diploma to master's. So if you can share your CV, there are opportunities we can see in. Yes, the course and programs are there. Now, just to give you a heads up.
I'd just like to add here, please remember that we are top in terms of education. So our early childhood program is really good. We have 16 weeks of placement within the program. It's one of the most coveted programs, and Institute of Early Childhood Centers would give priority to students from University of Auckland always on their on their kind of people who they hire. Also, you must understand that for any of these teaching programs, it goes to the council, the Teaching Council of New Zealand. So automatically when you finish, our student support will help you with taking application through the Teaching Council, which takes about a couple of weeks and costs like $30 or $40. You have to look at their website, and then you become a provisional teacher. You teach for a year, that you can get your full license, and then you're able to apply for your residency or whatever. It's a great program. Both of our teaching programs are directly, you go through that, go into the registration after that, and you require that in order to get your visa approved for residency.
Great. I think, Amita, we might have to rush faster because I can see 70 questions are there in the pipeline. So again, there are 1 year master's program related to environmental sector. I believe, yes, there are programs are there. We just need to see, are you able to or eligible for that program? Remember that 1 year programs are more research focused programs, and the taught masters or coursework programs will be 1.5 years to 2 years. So please send your CV, or be welcome to apply the offer letter. It takes some time to assess the application. And again, as we always say, that RBS Intellect don't charge any fees to any student for processing of the visa application. It's a student visa application only, I can say that. Now, with Rashid Ahmed, what is the requirements of undergraduate admission? Rashid, their requirements are, at least, again, the GPA requirement have to meet. Bachelor's, you need to have a great school score in your high school or O levels and A levels from whichever country you are. And the IELTS requirement is 6 band, no band less than 5.5. But in certain programs, it will be 7, no band less than 7, like nursing. Or if there is a teaching option, it can be different also, 6.5, no band than 6. So it recommends which program you're looking in. Now we'll come to Sudhira. Hi, I'm planning to do my bachelor's in psychology. Do you have a course? Yes, I think psychology bachelor's are there. Amita, I believe, please recommend to send your CV so that we can forward it to, we can recommend to our admissions team, and they come back with the options for you. Is that correct? Amita, you want to add anything?
No, that's fine, because it's not, so you'll be an MSc in psychology, Master of Psychology. So that's how our psychology works. It's not a named program.
Yeah.
So
great. So again, remember that, guys, it might be different name under what your home country. So we'll recommend always, please send your details so that we can recommend the right link, or you can go to Uni Auckland website also. Now, I have a question from Rashid. Again, can we talk? Yes, you can always reach out to our partner, or you can send an email to us. We will recommend our team member to reach out to you. Normally process within 24 to 72 hours. Somebody will reach out to you to make sure that we can set up a one-to-one call with everyone who want to reach out to us, or our respective offices. We have Kalpana. I've received email confirmation of study. What are the future process and where we are allowed to take spouse? So Kalpana, depend upon the qualification you are going in. If you're in masters, there are certain areas you have to fulfill in terms of. So you can reach out to us. We can recommend you to talk to Anosh. Anosh can help you with your partner and spouse visas. So again, there is a bit of documentation. We recommend it's a question if you can send on email. Now it's Malsha Matra again. Guys, apologies me if I pronouncing your name wrong. Hi, can I apply without IELTS? No, New Zealand recommend to take IELTS if you've done your qualification in a non-OECD country. So if you've studied in a country like UK, Canada, US, or Australia or Ireland, and your bachelor's or your undergrad or your schooling is done in those countries, yes, the possibilities are there, but there are opportunities to consider IELTS or PT or other testing systems. Again, we'll recommend to please share your CV so that we can say what you have and what we can do. Now, we have anonymous attendee. I'm a senior machine learning with experience in research and industrial experience in AIML, which is artificial intelligence and machine learning. I would like to whether provide help in fully funded research, PhD or MSc in AIML field. So my GPA is not best rate, but I'll able to contribute to best conference, and there are a lot of names. Now, if I say, Amita, can you add a process of a PhD application? I believe they need to reach out to the research supervisor to get them accepted. Is there a particular process in Uni Auckland?
Yeah, so that's exactly what you said, and I'll share a link with you. So we've given some 3-4 very clear steps for PhD students, and you do need to do some work in terms of looking for a doctoral support person. If you're not able to go into our website, because if you go there, you will look at who the professors are, what their areas of study is. So it's really important for you to have that engagement, to find somebody who's happy to supervise you. If you're finding it difficult, then you can go to our doctoral office and they will help you with how you can write your cover sort of thesis statement and look for somebody. But that is really, really important. It's a very competitive space. We have a lot of scholars from across the world contacting our academicians we are a research heavy institute. So we do welcome PhD students. As you might also know that our PhD students pay domestic fees. So it is quite subsidized. So you will end up paying about 7,000 or 8,000 New Zealand dollars. Some of those programs. So oftentimes you might get some funding depending on the research. So if there's an industry research component often and there is funding for that faculty for that particular research, you might be able to get additional scholarships as well. So really you need to go into our doctoral application process. It's a 4-5 steps given there very clearly on our website. And you have to do that research to find a professor who's happy to research you, or you will get help to find that professor. You have to be patient. Doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, again, guys, just to add, PhD application process takes between 6 to 9 months. So make sure that you are trying. And again, it can open. It's not a particular intake or structure. You can, depend if your faculty accept, you can apply for your visa application. Now, Gautam question asks, what's the minimum IELTS band requirement for Bachelor of Physiotherapy? So again, I'll recommend to student, please go to the website. Clinical program normally take 7 band in each module, but if it is non-clinical program in health, it can be 6.5 or 5.5 in each module or 6 in each module. Rajiv, I'm currently living in Australia, but considering to do a PhD in New Zealand. So you're welcome, Rajiv. PhD options are open, and if you're a citizen or resident of Australia, you're paying the same domestic fees in any case. Anonymous attendee, what kind of life science related programs? Please visit University of Auckland website. They are ample of program in life sciences. Again, like I said, if you are generic program, it will be difficult to help. Otherwise, do share your CV on hello@rbsintech.com so that we can come back to you. Now, Kamil saying, do they need to stay in New Zealand during the duration of PhD, or they should be resident of New Zealand or in NNZ, or at least 3 years before applying for PhD. So anybody can apply PhD, but if you're doing as an international student, you have to stay and complete that. If you do offshore, then you may not be eligible for your post-study work option or work option in New Zealand. So again, it's a specific question related to immigration and opportunities. My suggestion will be, we need to know what status you are currently on. Are you a New Zealand resident, or you're Australian resident or citizen, or otherwise, if you're an international student, then depend upon faculty if they allow you to do PhD from offshore. It's a faculty decision, but if you are offshore, you may not be able to get your post-study work options. Sanjay, I said, I'm currently doing my Master's of Science by Research in Malaysia. I do like to do a PhD course in New Zealand. How should I apply? I think we have covered that already. You need to go to the research link. Fahimuddin, I'm from Bangladesh, finished final year undergraduate exam in Economics Department in National University, where I've achieved 3.3 CGPA in third year. Now I'm raising my queries to get answer from the webinar, as I believe I need to see your queries for him. I can't see that. But again, you can apply for your master's option if you've completed your bachelor's and you met this GPE as what Amita mentioned. Anonymous attendee, I'm a skilled migrant category visa. Will I be coming as a domestic student or international student? If you're on a skilled migrant category visa in New Zealand, I believe we just need to see what you can't come on the skilled migrant category visa, but you can apply under those areas in a job or relevant to job area. Again, Anush, you want to answer that question?
So we need to see a copy of his visa before commenting on it. So what exact visa type is he holding? So please send the visa copy to hello@rbsintellect.com. So we'll come back to you.
Great. I think Safkat Amin from Bangladesh said, I'm an undergraduate admission to marine related studies. Please give me advice. If you want, I can send your resume. Point to be noted, my IELTS score is expired. So if I required to join English course, then please provide. So for everyone, guys, if your IELTS is expired, it depends upon institution if they accept or not. Normally it is not, so you need to redo the IELTS again. So again, Safkat, thank you for your contact and details. If you can share your CV on hello@rbsintellect.com, we can come back to you, and our Bangladesh team can talk to you. That will be helpful. Great. We're coming down to anonymous attendee, common reasons of application rejection, because we apply with high expectation and dreams to getting into the program. I think this, I can't understand the question, but again, rejection reasons are a lot. It is not only because of, again, it's academic, the financial pathways, academic pathways, and all the requirements. Again, Dr. Ganesh, is there any healthcare related process program? If yes, can Duolingo test be acceptable? Now, Amita, I'll leave it to you. Duolingo accepted because some universities accept Duolingo.
So we do not accept Duolingo. We do IELTS and PTE. In IELTS, we also recently have said if you've done a second test for IELTS, we take that one retest for IELTS, one band retest. We're accepting that, but we don't accept Duolingo.
Again, just to add, Dr. Ganesh, if you have done Duolingo and if you want to go for master, there might be one or two university members, but I'll recommend the IELTS or PT are good to give. It helps you to make your case more stronger. Now, for him, the question is that I think there are 6-7 questions. For him, most of the questions have been answered, or we will send you the details because I'm eligible to apply for Masters of Commerce Economics. I believe if your qualification you have done is meeting and the CGPA is done, we can send the qualification to or requirements to institution. Funds to study in the program, we will come back to you with these details because it depends. Normally, students have to show their 1 year study expense and 1 year living expense if they're doing a 1 year master's. If you're doing a bachelor's for 3 years, you need to show 1 year bachelor, the first year funds in liquid funds, and the remaining 2 years have to be shown as a planning. Now, living costs in Auckland, or you normally show living cost of New Zealand, which is $20,000. Auckland is a big city, so depend where you live and how you live, the cost changes there. Application timeline for master program for 2025. So we already have students starting to apply for February intake. Some people have applied visa also, so the time is right. You have to apply now. Otherwise, it will be a July intake if it takes a lot of time. I think. Hi, Amita. I'm from Arun Kumar Gajmer from Bhutan. I have a bachelor degree in nutrition and dietetics from India, Tamil Nadu. I'm really interested in kind of pursuing masters in dietetics.
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
Okay, over to you now.
You can apply. Yeah, you can definitely apply as long as you meet the criteria. So we do have specialization in this area in masters. So you're very welcome to apply as long as you meet the requirement and you put in your application through. It will be assessed by our admissions department, and then they will send out a conditional or a firm letter depending on whether you meet the requirements or not. You've mentioned you've done your IELTS, which is great. I don't know how old your IELTS is, but there is a validity for the IELTS. So make sure if you are putting your papers through that your IELTS is valid. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, yeah.
Sorry,
So
I'm just thinking on the question, and there are another 50 questions to go in. So, Mr. Arun, will be great if you can share the details with the RBS team. We can reach out to you again. Like for all the student visa application, we don't charge, and it is we cover your visa support system also. Again, so please, suggestion, if you can reach out to the team, we'll be able to help you out. Safkat, there are actually so many marine-related subjects such as supply chain and logistics, port management, offshore, and oil rigs. Again, Safkat, there are courses which can be relevant to you, depend upon your previous experience and background. We'll recommend if you can send the things on email or details on email, we will reach out to you. We have opportunities and we work with most of the institution in New Zealand, so we'll be able to help you out which and where you meet the criteria. And Uni Auckland, I can tell you there are a lot of options available in most of the areas. Now, Bijimul, is there a chance to do a PhD in tourism management? Again, Bijimul, there are options, as Amita said, you need to reach out the options. Now, Dr. Ganesh, is there age criteria? My age is 40 now. For study, there is no age. We have got students at the age of 66 also, but applying for permanent residence and migration, there is an age. Is that correct, Anosh? And you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. So when it comes to study, there is no age criteria. But when it comes to residence visa, there is a age limit, which is 55. So you have to be under 55 to apply for residence visa. There are certain categories which you can still apply over 55, for example, partnership categories. But or if you have further questions, please type it in. We'll be able to answer those.
Okay, the question is from Princeton Lewis. What proof of funds do we need to show for visa process or NZ? Do we need to show only FD or cash balance or any other ways? Now, Princeton, as we said, the RBS team, there are a team of Ella as an ex-immigration officer. We are happy to provide you the details and checklist. For every student who are sending us CV and details and they apply offer with RBS, we are providing this support system for helping you to arrange your visa application. And again, it's there is no cost to that. So please, if you can send an email, Princeton, we'll be happy to help you because the list is big. There are a 5 to 7 page checklist for that. Rahul, I have approval of admission from Uni Auckland for late term of Masters of Taxation or Tax Research. There aren't any scholarship available for late term. Is it possible to apply later in term with when application open? Over to you, Amita.
I think you should just carry on with this with your tax research if you already have got your entry into it and got an offer letter. I would just say just carry on with it because there are two things. There's no guarantee that you would get a scholarship if you did apply later on, and secondly, there's no guarantee that that research will be available again in the first semester, whether it's going to be available in the last semester of next year. So I would say that any of these research ones like MTax is a really good program. I would just suggest that you apply for that and stick with it for now. That would be my recommendation to you.
I think there's another PhD question from Sirajul Islam. Again, Sirajul, we have covered that. Please send the CV or reach out to research area on the website. Will be helpful. Vishal Thapa has a master's in data science course. Can you please let me know? Again, Vishal, ICT School of University of Auckland is a pretty well known. And again, if you're looking to qualification related to that area, there are certain areas where there's an internship option between 3 to 6 months. So please, if you can share the CV and details, we can help you with out. Is that correct? Amita, you want to add something on the data science or IT programs?
I just want to say that any internships or practicums or clinical positions or practicums that are available as part of the course that you're studying are not paid internships. So just want to just bear that in mind. It's part of your study. There will be a supervisor. You'll be doing reflections, writing assessments accordingly. So just bear that in mind that it's not going to be a paid internship. But there is our Masters in Information Technology is very much one which has got 10 weeks of practicum internship in the industry, and many of the others have some form of internship or the other.
Great, lovely. So Manoj, your question is that after graduate diploma in teaching, ECE, what's the minimum period of experience required for residency? So again, Manoj, all the ECE students have to study or work for 2 years before they can apply for a residence pathway. Now you should have a job, and the job you have to work for 2 years. Anything else, Anosh, you want to add here?
See, the basic requirement is to work for 2 years under that particular employment at medium wage. So if you are working under medium wage, it is not considered.
Okay, great. I think, and I believe, just to give you a heads up, guys, ECE, the job are not, I think they are well around median wage. They are not below median wage because this is in high demand area. For master studies, if we apply early childhood kids educators fully free or half fees, or we need to apply. Now, just to update everyone, the New Zealand have 2,400 schools, and out of which I will say 95% schools are state funded. So all the state funded school, you are actually paying domestic fees for age between 5 to 18, and that is a subsidized fees of $200 to $500 maximum per year. So it's kind of fully subsidized if you are on a master's pathway and if you're eligible. Anosh, you want to add anything to that from Shankari Ravindran?
I was trying to look at that question again.
Okay, so for master studies, if we apply for early childhood kids educators fully free or half fees, or we need to pay? I believe the question is if the kids need to pay full fees or half fees. I think for what I understand, it's if you are into coming as a part of dependent visas. But again, Shankari, if you can send your email questions by email, will be helpful.
So is the question related to the dependence study?
I believe so, that the dependent study, the kids dependent study.
So say in the school, the domestic, if they are considered as domestic students, so there is no fee. But there are certain fees which you have to pay, some administration fees, but there is no fee. They are considered as domestic students.
Yeah, it's again, the bare minimum is $200 for a year. That's not. Okay, so Ruth Patel, I'm going to a master's in it. How can I get PR? Again, depending on your master's which you're doing. There is a skilled migrant category, what Anosh mentioned, and I'll try and to put there. You can follow which area you're going in. Rajesh Kushal, I have master's from Australian University in biotechnology, but it's a coursework. Can I apply for PhD in New Zealand? And my nationality is Nepalese. Over to you, Anna. Amita.
Yeah. So if you are applying for a PhD, you must have some research background. You need to have either some published papers, or you've got to do a good research thesis that you've done part of as your academic pursuits. So if you haven't done it, the PhD, the graduate school might ask you that you have to do a couple of extra papers first in order to be qualified to be considered for a research program. So definitely research capabilities is very much a requirement of the PhD entry process.
Okay, so I'll go to Sukhdeep's question. I have completed master's by philosophy in computer application and applied in UB College, but visa is not granted now. I wanted to apply through university admission. So Sukhdeep, again, visa didn't grant it. We need to know the reason. If you can send your decline letter, but at the same time, after doing master philosophy, and you're going for a program which at a coursework level, we just need to see what you have done and what you applied for. Again, you are going from a university to a private institution, so it might be just need to see where things have gone wrong. So please share your decline letter at hello@Intellect, and the team will come back with you for further questions. Nancy Joseph Raj, how soon I can apply for visa for dependents? I believe after you get a visa or before you get a visa. Anosh, over to you.
So, see, you can either apply along with your student visa application, but there is risk because if your student visa get declined, the partnership-based applications also get declined. Usually what I suggest is to wait until your visa is approved or wait until you get an AIP. Once you get an AIP, let's file for your dependents, which is a bit more safer way of dealing with this application.
Great. Got a question again I'm from Sri Lanka, age 50, have masters in public administration and management. Do I have a bachelor degree? Need to study an MBA or relevant? Please explain my ability. Now, again, I believe that will be hard. University of Auckland don't accept anyone without
There
bachelor.
may be others we would not consider that. We don't have an MBA either, so we have a different kind of management program. You can do a master's management in either international business. You can do it in other areas, but definitely you would need to have an evidence of having completed graduation. Even if you have work experience, you still need to have a undergraduate degree.
Again, and Fernando, there are again a graduate entry route or pathway route. So again, if you can share the complete CV, it will be helpful because there are again, like Amita said, there are opportunities, but then we just need to review all the options for you. Vishal Thapa, again, Masters of Data Science is in a scholarship. Again, Vishal, scholarship is covered already. There are options, depend when you apply, how you apply. So please apply for your offer letter as soon as possible. It takes roughly between 4 to 8 weeks to get an offer letter, either a conditional or unconditional. And after then, only you can go for a scholarship mode. So please apply if you guys are applying and thinking to do, because you still have a good time to get your options out. Chandra, I haven't seen him again. I think we've answered that question already. I think we have anonymous attendee, a master's in HRM from Australia. What would be the option to move to New Zealand? Can it be okay to do something less course and gain 1 year experience and more than 35 years of age? So again, please share your CV. There are opportunities, but again, the fees depend upon which institution you are choosing. If you're choosing University of Auckland, the range is between 48,000 to 63,000. Is that correct, Amita? So you might need to see where you're going and what course.
It depends on the duration of the program as well. So yeah.
Agreed. Again, I'm interested in pursuing masters with research in economics. Should I reach out to professor in University of Auckland or RBS will help? Again, yes, we can help you with the master of research option, and again, we can direct with the PhD options also. So please reach out to us. We are happy to help you out. Again, we need to name at least, because without name we can't do anything. Manoj, I've already have an NZQA level 9 assessment and I've done diploma. Can I apply for residency after 1 year? Manoj, again, I'm not sure your question if you want to answer this, but I can answer if you want it. It's very simple. You're on mute, Anosh, so we can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay, so the question really, there is some elements of confusion in it. So the question says NSZQA level 9 assessment. So what I understand is he's going to get an NSZQA assessment on a qualification and which is being given as level 9, which is a master's degree, which you can claim 5 points. Then he asked for diploma, which again confuses me a little bit there. But if the person can type the question again, we'll be able to answer. But in a nutshell, if you have a master's degree and 1 year experience, you can go for residence if it's a skilled employment.
So otherwise, Anosh, if you wanted, you can put your email ID and I can share with the person. Or again, Manoj, if you can reach out to us, send your details, we can send you the email ID of Anosh to talk directly. Again, fees and scholarship available in a student. We have talked about it in the Master of Health Science. Again, scholarships are open with the different faculties, so please apply and send the details. Will be helpful to you. Prasanna, my wife is nurse in Sri Lanka. She got ANMAC assessment of caregiver in Australia. Is it valid for New Zealand too? Anosh, you are a nursing specialist here. I believe, I think 900 nurses have been processed last year by Anosh. Amita, just to get update to you. This is how Anosh is directly nurse. Over to you.
Thank you, Bharat. So, Prasanna, I still need to see your CV to assess if you are meeting the requirements. So I'll type my email in. Please send me your CV. I'll come back to you after the assessment. There are certain areas which you still have to go in detail.
Okay, great. I'm studying BSc in nuclear engineering. In our course, it is in part of material science. It has a part of material science. if I do thesis in material science or nuclear material, can I study masters in material engineering in the university? I
Yes,
believe yes.
we have material engineering. We have master of material engineering. We also have a master's in other related areas of material engineering, and there's a lot of research and scholarly research happening in the PhD space as well. So yes to everything there.
Great. I think Sukhdeep has a question. Can I get offer letter from Uni Auckland? Again, Sukhdeep, if you can apply and get the details, we need to see your detailed requirement. Yes, I think, see, our team of RBS will assess and update you what are the options at Uni Auckland. We will apply, and at the same time, if you're not eligible, we can recommend other universities or other pathways, because there are graduate entry routes at Uni Auckland also. If you can't get directly, you can get a pathway options too. Abhishek, I think Bhattacharya. Sorry, Abhishek. Do you have any MBA program under business school, and do you have offer scholarship in MBA? I believe there are opportunities there. Abhishek, over to you, Amita.
We have a business master scholarship within the business faculty. We have the other scholarships, which I said was the High Achievers Award, and then so there's a lot of opportunities that you can apply scholarships for. We don't have a MBA program. The MBA program that we have is for domestic students because they have to be in work when they do the MBA. But we have Masters of Marketing, International Business, Resource Management. So there are many other which are kind of like an MBA, but are not called an MBA. So you have quite specializations, and these are all very highly ranked programs. So they rank globally as well within the B schools. So these are fantastic programs, and do look for the International Business Master Scholarship for these.
Great. Ram Patel, I'm a 52 plus. I think, see, Ram, please send an email because it's a more a PR driven question and will be answered specifically. We can't talk about PR in terms of any specific case without getting more details. Please, it'll be helpful, Ram. I can forward the email of Anush because you are into a very close, what do you call, date or an age category, which is 52 to 54. But one thing I can say that, Anush, one question is that can I apply PR even after 55 years in a skilled pathway PR? I believe.
No, sorry.
Yes, agreed. So Aram, again, will be great if you can email. We will help you out on that. Rishi is there. I have 6.81 CGPA in my bachelor's in BBA. I want to do master's in management from University of Auckland. I think, Rishi, if you can send the details, and then Amita, over to you.
Please apply through RBS, and we will assess your.
Great. Our ECAs are huge part of requirement of scholarship. I believe it's eligibility criteria of academic, or I'm eligible based on my academic merit alone. What is ECA? I don't know, but again,
I don't know what ECA is, but maybe he wants to know like a statement of purpose or something like that.
Or experience, or maybe experience. So again, guys,
okay.
Depending on the course you're doing, things change on the course you're going in. Tripti called my qualification is MCOM, B.Ed. Please advise for suitable qualification. Now, Tripti, if you have done B.Ed, which means you are in education sector. If you are in teaching area, if you can share your CV, we can recommend which area you can go, either into a primary teaching, secondary teaching, or early childhood. But again, you have a commerce qualification. So again, please, Tripti, depend upon experience where you are and what you're doing. Anything, Amita, you want to add here? Amita, anything you want to add here? It's all good.
I said graduate diploma in teaching would be quite good for Tripti.
Yeah, again, depend if you believe you're not married also. Sorry, can you hear me? Yes. So I'll go back to anonymous. Is there a country-wise quota for scholarship? I believe no. Is Amita, there is country-wise quota of scholarship? No.
There are some scholarships for particular countries. So if it is an India High Achiever Scholarship, then it is available only for citizens of India. So your passport must say that. If it is one for ASEAN, then it should be for one of the Asian countries. But if it is just an
Okay, thank you, Amita. We have Yugen Funsuk from Bhutan. Bachelor degree students are allowed to take their spouse along with them. See, Yugen, we have done a couple of Bhutanese students. Every bachelor is not allowed to bring the spouse, so you need to do a specific bachelor. Again, I'll recommend, please email the details so that we can help you out, which way we're going, how we're doing. Is that correct? There are students coming from Bhutan, but we require a certain background. Nitya, hi ma'am, what are the possibilities of PhD in engineering management and how long it takes to process and all? So Nitya, 6 to 9 months, and you have to work with the research area. Please email and we can recommend you the link to follow in. So we have shared the email ID hello@rbsintellect.com. So you can send that. Again, I'm just sending it to you again for reference. Anonymous attendee, which is what is the minimum salary wages per annum for the science-based industry? Does your university provide placement? Amita, are we doing any placement? No, I believe so, but we help to find jobs with the career center. Amita, you want to add something on that?
So really, you're put in a very good position to be able to find employment because you have all of these various opportunities that are brought to you, and usually you would also be making industry connections when you are doing your placements or your projects. So I think while we can't say that we place you, I think we probably put you in the best position to gain employment within the scope of what you've studied. As I said, we are the #1 employer for graduate employability in New Zealand. So can't get better than that.
Yeah, great. I'll go to the Arindam. I want to research-based work. Is there scholarship for that? I think Arindam, maybe the question has been answered already. Himali, as for apply as a healthcare assistant, how much score or files is needed? Now, Himali, healthcare assistant, if you're doing level 4 or level 7, level 4 is 5.5, no less than 5. Level 7 is 6, no less than 5.5. Pushpa Raj Thakal, do we have PhD from? Sorry, we answered that. Again, anonymous attendee, which email we should share CV. I've typed that email ID in a chat box for everyone. hello@rbsintellect.com. Please share your CV. I think we go to Asif Azad. I'm studying BSc in nuclear engineering. I think we have answered that. Prakash Sharma, I've already applied for Masters of Health Leadership. How long will it take to get an offer letter? Is there a right choice to lead me towards the PR? And could you please tell me about scholarship? Amita, offer letter. I believe how much time offer letter takes on an average? I believe 4 to 8 weeks.
4 to 8 weeks is expected, but it depends. Sometimes if you are like if you're applying say for a semester 2 already for 2025, it could even take longer because we are doing semester wise. But usually 6 to 8 weeks is when you will get your offer letter from University of Auckland. Sometimes earlier. So it depends on the load on our admissions team.
Great. So we have, I think Sudeep will be great because we've answered a lot of questions we just need to cover. Sudeep, please send an email. It will be helpful to us. Anonymous attendee, I have completed Masters of Philosophy in Computer Application and applied. I think we've answered that too. Vasanti, I think please share the CV. We are open to help you out. Rani Vikramarante. I'm Ranil Lee. From Sri Lanka, I'm a chemistry teacher. I have an MSc already in chemistry education. I'm planning to apply for my secondary master in teaching and learning. Science now can see available PhD education. Any pathway for apply PhD in education? I can financially handle the PhD even, no problem. So Ranali, one PhD offer takes 6 to 9 months. Again, the area which you're going, faculty should be doing some research. It will be helpful. Otherwise, again, the PhD is much kind of less expensive compared to masters. But if you're going for master of teaching and learning in secondary education, that might be the faster pathway route to apply. And what we recommend, if you're coming for masters, you can always talk to faculty and discuss the PhD option. And if you may not be eligible, you may be eligible depending on how much research work you have done. So Ranali, if you can send the CV and detail, we can recommend what options you have and where you are. Again, thank you again for sending question. I think the CVs have been there. Hi, Mary Soni. think good afternoon, sorry. I think it'll go around. I think for question is there, can we have to pay mandatory 1-year tuition fees or can we pay in installment? So for everyone in New Zealand, you are paying the fees for 1 year after approval in principle. That's the AIP route. If somebody want to pay in advance, you can follow that route, but there are no installments recommended from the visa perspective. Is that correct? Again, from Amita, from your end, University of Auckland don't recommend any scholarship, any installment for the fees. They have to pay 1 year fees in advance completely.
No, that's not permitted. I don't think that's allowed from a visa perspective either. So Anush might be able to talk to that.
Yeah, depend upon the country to country, they can go on AIP, but installments are not accepted from any institution perspective. We recommend to get because you will get a full 1 year visa. You can pay 1 year if the course is 1.5 years rather than paying full, depend upon the institution. Mary Soni, is it possible to go for a PG diploma with PhD qualification? Again, Mary, you can go to any qualification. My suggestion will be that if you can share the background and details and why you're choosing from PhD to PG diploma. If you're changing your stream from, say, health science to education or IT, yes, graduate diploma and PG diploma can be taken as an option. Please share your details to answer more. I think scholarship criteria we have discussed. Harvinder Singh, any short course and polytechnic, again, Harvinder, there are options of polytechnic, but we are talking about University of Auckland today. Short courses are not recommended, which is below 1 year for getting your post-study work options. But again, you can come for a study on a 12 weeks for a visitor visa. You're welcome for that. I think we'll go to Asif. I think we've been. Again, is there any working hour restriction while studying? So again, for everyone, students can work 20 hours while studying a course in New Zealand. If there's a term break or a Christmas holiday break or a summer break, you can work full time, but you can't work full time while you're studying. After study, when you do post-study work visa, you can work full time. There are no restrictions of hours in that. Anything, Anush, you want to add, or Amita, you want to add? Sorry, I'm trying to finish question at the same time to support you guys.
I think you've covered that, Bharat. That's fine.
Okay. Again, Kazi, Arisha, Kazi, yeah, go ahead.
That's exactly correct. But once you're on an interim visa, once you move from a student visa to a post-study work visa, make sure you read the conditions of the interim visa. Some interim visa doesn't allow you to continue work, even part-time.
Great. Kazi, Arisha, Kazi, I believe I've seen your email coming to us about your daughter. I want to fall 2025 semester. Yes, please send the details. If you can apply now, it will be helpful if the qualification or the previous your schooling has been completed of your daughter, if I'm not wrong. So please send your details. One of the team members will touch base with you soon. Again, Amita, you're planning for July 2025 intake. So I believe it's good to see if we can get some unconditional or a foundation options for a bachelor qualification. I believe people can apply for July next year.
Yeah, if you're looking for a foundation studies, you need to look at Up Education. They are foundation partners, and then you need to tie in your foundation study with when you want to start your main program, because then you'll have a offer letter from Up Education for your foundation program and a conditional offer for your main program. So you will need to just align that so that it works from a time perspective for you. So if you want something for semester 2 of 2025, then you probably need 6 months or 8 months of study, depending on how much of foundation study you require. So you need to get that process quite soon. I hope that helps.
We'll be finishing the question as soon as possible, because I think we have a time limit here, and I believe, Amita, we are okay, because I believe I can see 20 on your question, but please email us if you have questions, if you're not able to cover in next 10 to 11 minutes. I'll try to cover as major questions if possible. So coming around, see guys, for IELTS requirement 6.5, no better than 6 is for master's courses if they're not clinical, and for PhD 7 in each module. Just making sure that it is kind of covered for everyone. I can see a few questions.
Bharat,
you want to
I
add
think,
some? Yeah.
Bharat, I'm just saying that there are quite a few very specific questions. So instead of going through all of them, I think it's really important if these students need to write to you and give their specific details. Only then they can be really meaningfully answered. Because from what questions you ask, we don't get like a holistic understanding of what your situation is. So I would just recommend that we kind of ask them to. So if you can pop in the email that they should be writing to you at, and that might be a good idea.
Agreed. And I think that's the reason if the questions are very specific, please email us. I like what Amita said. I'll try to give you kind of as much overview here because this is a more of the overview webinar for everyone to make sure that they are able to know about the institution and about some of the basic processes. We will be happy to spend 30 minutes to 45 minutes session with everyone individually with the team. And there are nearly 150 team members across RBS in multiple countries. So I can assure you that there are a lot of people here to support you. Is it possible for PG diploma with PhD qualification? I believe you have answered this question. I think I'm covering majorly. It's Eddie Thapa. I've graduated in Bachelor of Electronics and Communication Engineering with 68%. Am I eligible to apply for MS in Computer Science? Again, Eddie, there are opportunities and options. We just need to see the whole detailed qualification. I think Amita, 68% and the CGPA is there any percentage or CGP kind of comparison you can say or talk about?
Yeah, you'll have to go through the system because it would depend on the when you have a qualification, there's a drop down menu to ask which institution you have studied that from, and the seat then they're likely to change according to where. So 68% from Institute A is not the same as 68% from Institute B if they're not on our on the list that we have in our calculation. So it's not possible to answer it generically, but definitely you need to be in that late 60s or early 70s to get into some of our bachelor programs. So I think for engineering, it's probably quite low. We might need a higher score for engineering.
I think so. For everyone, guys, if you're sending a very big question, I'll be happy to answer in detail because they are specific and can't be answered immediately. So again, Buddhi Singh Thapa, your question is great. I think if you wanted what courses and scholarship, we can help you out. There's a Nepal office. There are 2 offices in Kathmandu. Please visit us. We're happy to help you out on those details. And I believe Anosh will be in Nepal in 3rd week of September. And and we are hosting an event in India also to support people. But we'll be in Malaysia and we'll be in Sri Lanka too. I think going down, I'm just trying to see if there's any specific question we can go in.
Can I think I might need to take your leave.
No,
so I just want to say thank you to everyone. And if you don't mind, I will just carry on.
So again, Amita, we will be finishing here because most of the questions are generic in answer. So again, guys, I can see there's a lot of questions have been generic here. But again, thank you everyone for joining. It's wonderful to have Amita from University of Auckland and Anosh from Derek Jones to support our immigration questions. Appreciate your time and look forward to helping you out. And thank you everyone for joining today.
Absolutely. And look forward to seeing all of you at some point in New Zealand. Make the right choices. You have the support and we really look forward to seeing you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anosh. Thank you.